All right, so we just got back from the store. We have a little bit more than half of our time left. I got everything from our trip in this box here. So we got our big old conduit, been cut in half. So we picked out some tools on the way in, a couple hex wrenches to tighten up some of our fasteners, and this handy little dual socket wrench. That's all the tools it will need to assemble this thing. I have a crud load of fasteners. We have our end plates. We have our actual part of our carriage pieces, our carriage, our skate wheels from the skate shop, some nice bearings, make this thing roll real smooth. First and foremost, you want to get yourself organized. So the first step I want to do on this is actually get the carriage assembled. To do that, we have this 4x4 anchor that we're going to need to flare out these about 45 degrees. So you can either do this with your hands, you could do it in a vise, but the goal is to get it flared out. So I'm going to do it on the table here. The way that this works is that we need to bolt these two pieces together. And you can see the holes actually line up fairly well. All right, so that's stage one of the build. You can see we have our washers on there. We have our two pieces of angle iron bolted onto the main piece of the carriage. And so if you remember on the whiteboard, this basically gives us our general shape of how we're gonna mount our rollers onto it. And now it's time to actually bolt the wheels onto your carriage. Okay, so we have a problem right now where you can see these bearings inside here. They don't sit flush with the wheel. I'm not a skateboarder, and so I thought this would actually sit flush, so I only got one washer per wheel to space it off our component right here. But in reality, we need 4 washers to space this so that the wheel doesn't hit our angle. So I'm making a store run and we barely have an hour left.
All right, Kyle's back from the store. There's 47 minutes to go.
Gotta tear this thing down and then rebuild it again. All right, proof of concept complete. This thing rolls pretty well. It's pretty smooth. So next it is time to actually build up the end plates. For this assembly, I have my 832 by 3/8 inch socket cap. This is gonna go through the bracket into the angle. I have a washer, a fender washer on the back side, and my 832 lock nut. It's really working. It looks like he's gonna do it. It's working. It's working. It worked.
Show me what you got.
We made our time. So, the plan went really well from the beginning. We have our conduit, we have our angle pieces, which worked great for our rail holders, our wheel holders rather, end plates, and then this little 4x4 bracket to make our connection between the two.
Surprisingly smooth.
Right? That's pretty good.
Fantastic.
It's pretty good.
So the trouble is, even though that you've made your time, you have 23 minutes left.
Okay.
The next step is how do you take this and make it look great?
Well, let's see. All right, I thought he might do this, so while I was at the store, I actually picked up a couple supplies or tools, if you will, to make this thing look good. I got some nice Rust-Oleum matte black paint. It says it sticks well without primer. If you want this thing to last a long time, primer is always a good idea. I don't really have time for that though. And then this is called Plasti-Dip. It's basically this dip that you dip metal into, and it puts a plastic coating around it to protect, if you want to protect the table so it doesn't get scratched, or to make it look good. We're gonna be using both of those. So normally you want to dip a tool in here. I'm just going to dump some of this. We need to wait for the parts to dry before we actually dip them. Not sure if that's going to work much, but we have about 12 minutes left. All right, so we have about 8 minutes left on the clock, and I'm just sitting here doing nothing, watching paint dry. So unfortunately, that's all I can do right now. Looks like it's going to take another 8 minutes to put another coat on the backside, another 10 minutes to reassemble it. I don't think we're going to meet our deadline. So I guess the Slurpee did us in. We shouldn't have stopped. We didn't have enough time. So I'll put it back together. We'll be a little over budget on time, but we'll show you what happens.
Well, Kyle, this looks great, and it rolls smoothly.
It's pretty good.
What have you done to make it beautiful?
Make it beautiful, we use some nice spray paint.
And Plasti Dip on the ends?
Plasti Dip on the ends. I'd use rubber feet next time, which we'll throw together in the shopping list for you. The best part about it is that it actually mounts to a tripod really easily.
Yeah, I see that.
Using these 3/8" wing nuts.
That's great. If somebody wants to build this from scratch, how do they go about it? You mentioned a shopping list.
Yep. So what we've done is we put together a detailed PDF. It's a step-by-step guide with big photos walking you through how to build this, what kind of hardware you need. It's actually a really simple build. It should only take you a couple hours after you get all the materials in hand.
And there was no drilling. There were no taps to make threaded holes.
Sure.
It was
really simple.
As tool-free as you can get.
Yep. Yep. So if you guys have any questions, please comment in the comment section below or email us at support@rhinocg.com. Thanks for watching.